Alright, Shalom, Shalom to the nation of Israel, Shalom. Alright, this is your brother Kazakia out of Great Millstone, New Orleans, coming at you with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shai, right? But prior to getting started, we want to give all infinite honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Harakakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone, who rule and teach well. Peace, blessings, and salutations be to the hopeful elect scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, alright? And the title of today's lesson is going to be Uproars and Civil Unrest in America. All right, that's the title of today's lesson. It's going to be Uproars and Civil Unrest in America. All right, and Babylon the Great, is set, as we know, for destruction. But prior to that destruction, man, we know, all hell is going to break loose on the shores of America, man, making it one of the worst times, as the scriptures say, or the worst time, possible, as have been a nation has been created, man. Okay, and this is what this place has looking forward to it. All right, it's not going to be the next superpower or remain as the superpower. Okay, the Lord has plans for these devils, man. All right, but we're gonna kick it off right here with this first precept really quickly. This is Psalms 119 and 126. It is time for thee, Lord, okay, to work, for they have made void thy law. Okay, so the Lord is putting in what, man? A massive amount of work, right? Everything that he said would happen is happening, man. And it's happening on a very, very, very profound and very large scale, man. Okay, the prophecies are speaking clear as day, loud and very boldly through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Shah, man. And the people should be they should be terrified. They should be afraid. Okay, but these people are still lollygagging. They're still playing, right? They still not taking heed to the words, the Lord, the prophets, right? The Lord has put these men out here, to teach them, the things that's going on, right? Giving them knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of the truth, right? And all the different things all the different tools they need to be saved in order to be successful, okay? But they're not doing that, all right? And these people are on edge, man. Okay, everybody's on edge, right? Everybody's pissed off, right? Everybody's they're one catastrophe or issue away from just losing it, right? And we all know that there's a big and major false flag coming here to the shores of America. That's for sure, man. That's gonna happen, okay? And it's gonna change and shape in the lives of many people, man. But the point is not to go for it. Okay, don't fall for this devil tricks, his plans, man, his schemes, right? The scriptures call it devices. All right. Let's get another precept. Okay. This is Habakkuk 1 and verse 5. It says, behold, ye among the heathen, and regard and wonder marvelously, for I will work a work in your days, which ye believe not, though it be told you. Right? So the prophets are telling them, man, get ready for all out war, man. Right? Get ready for civil unrest here in America, complete civil unrest, where the average person is truly, not within the right mind, right? Because if you don't have the spirit of the Lord on you, you're gonna lose it, man. Right? Whether you turn one way, you turn another way, right? The calamities, the woes, the destruction, the sword, famine, pestilence, whatever, something's going to catch you, man. Something's going to get you, okay? But the Lord said, man, look, I'm doing what I said I was going to do, okay? And even though it be told these people, they still don't believe it. Okay, the Lord had his the options very simple. Okay, the U.S. and Israel banding together to go against Iran, has pissed a lot of people off, man, because they can't seem to understand why we even tied to these people in the first place. It's like, why are we over there? Let them, fight their own wars. Okay, but we tether to these people. Okay, as far as U.S. and Iran is concerned, right? Because I mean, the U.S. and Israel is concerned. Okay, they're tethered together because they don't, the small hats. Okay, are the ones that truly run the nation, man. Right? That's your so-called gatekeepers. Okay, that's the people that's the true rulers. You know. All right, let's go get this. It's Second Esdras 9 and verse 1. And it says, and he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, man. Be very diligent, man. Be focused. Be attentive. Watching. Okay. Be sober. Be circumspect. Right. And then how we measure in the times, right, is going to answer itself. It says, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, right? It says, then shalt thou understand it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made, right? So when you start seeing the things that I told you, right, that's that work and that work, right? You see, this heathen don't believe that America's going down. Okay, they don't believe that their kingdom is gonna fall, but they gonna see it, man, because it's gonna happen. Okay, now don't get me wrong. There are certain people you know um, seeing that their kingdom is falling, right? And they're fighting to try to fix America, right? They're fighting to have it, sustain itself, okay, so it doesn't completely fall or rot away or whatever the case may be. But that's vain, man. That's vanity, because the Lord said He gonna destroy it anyway, you know. Okay, and it says it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which He made. Verse 3. And it says, therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, right? And we go into that word uproar, right? Let's get that real quick. Okay. This is the word uproar from the online etymology dictionary, and it says outbreak of great disorder. Okay. It says outbreak of great disorder, revolt. You're gonna see the people revolt. And it says violent commotion. It's gonna be a violent revolt. Okay, it's not gonna be a peaceable one, but it's gonna be a very violent revolt. That people are gonna come up against the government, against its affiliates, its delegates or whatever, its elected officials, right? Against the so-called, president, against the so-called Congress and the Senate, right? And we seeing certain things with the T attacks, okay, where they're trying to get to certain elected officials, man, right? That's the game plan, you know. That's it. This is the uproar that the Lord was talking about. That big commotion, okay. And the people feel it, man. That uneasy feeling. That something big is going to happen. Well, you know, you're right on that. Something big is going to happen, man. Okay. Um, let's read verse 4. It says, "Then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning." Right? The Lord tell you, I've declared the end before the beginning. Roughly paraphrasing, man. Okay, you know. Verse 5, and it says, "For like as all that is made in the world have a beginning," right? So Esau had, a specific time for his rulership. He had time to rule the earth in wickedness, okay, underneath the sword, right? And he's going on his last campaign, his last hoorah, so to speak. All right. So yeah, man, because the scriptures tell you, and I'm gonna get it real quick right after I read this. It says, um, "The world have a beginning and an end, and the end is made manifest." It is certainty. It is here, right? We're in World War III. Everything that we could have, we everything that we was talking about, for the last, few years, dealing with prophecy. We're right here, man. We're at the cusp. Okay, we're in it. Which is a beautiful thing. It puts us closer to the return of Yahweh Shemel Shai. Like, we need these uproars, man. We need civil unrest, here in Babylon the Great, which is aka America, in order to get out of here. So these are the things, that we want, all right, that we're looking forward to according to prophecy. All right, let's get another precept. Let's see what I got. Bear with me. Let's get that. I'm gonna go here first. All right. This is 2 Ezra 6 and verse 7. "Then answered I and said, What shall be the parting asunder of the times, or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth?" Right? So he's inquiring about when basically, you know the end is coming. Okay, Ezra was very you know uh, inquisitive, so to speak, about, he's always asking questions. You know what I'm saying? He's all, doing a diligent search on all that. He wanted to know all the things that was going to go on and what's going to happen and what to look out for, man. All right. And it says, "And he said unto me, From Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau." Right. So Jacob, being the Israelites, you so-called Black, Hispanic, Native American, Seminole, Indian, man, woman, and child, and you Gentiles, which are the Israelite foreigners that look like the other nations, okay, but are Israelites according to the Spirit, okay, right? That Jacob who in the heel of Esau is what, it's basically symbolic, right, for Jacob taking down Esau's kingdom, man. Right, Jacob's gonna break, because the scriptures tell you the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom, man. We're gonna take these devils out of power, man. But we're not gonna do it on our own will or on our own accord, but by the Spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Al Shai, man. The Lord's gonna give us the power to do it. Okay, and it says, "For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth." So when Esau kingdoms goes down, right? These things must happen. Uproars, right? The earthquakes, okay? Soon the sooner come pestilence, okay? The civil unrest, the race wars, right? civil wars, class wars. All these things must happen, all the way to the MOTB, the nuclear missiles. It has to happen, you know. So get prepared for it, man. All right, because that's gonna happen for sure. You know. All right, let's get one more. All right, this is start there. This is Second Ezra 15 and verse 15. It says, "For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hand." Right. So the people are gonna be. It's gonna be all out war, man. Chaos. Right. Every man for himself. Survival of the fittest. Okay. Only the strong will survive. Right. The elect of Yahweh Shema Shai. Right. The people that's destined to receive, right, fate or their lot, okay, to receive the kingdom of heaven. Those are it, man. Those are the people. Okay. All right. And it says, for there shall be sedition among men, right? And people talking about it, planning it, plotting it. You know what I'm saying? They're saying we should do this, we should do that, right? Coming up against the government, man. You know, coming up against these world leaders, these people in the position of power to do the right thing, but will not do the right thing. Okay? And it said, for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. Right? And we're seeing that now, right? Because soon, you know, I know we had a 1,000 Louisiana, 1,000 National Guard troops down there deployed, but soon, and very soon, okay, they're going to make their ways, into the Middle East, so to speak, okay, the Levant area, so to speak, and and really wage war, man. Soon there's going to be boots on the ground, you know, and many American lives, will be lost at that time. That's without the shadow of a doubt, man. Okay, and it says, and invading one another, says and also, going on the shores of America. That's obvious. People are going to be going door to door, kicking doors in, and and like the scripture say, wasting and spoiling people. Throwing them out like it's dung, like that dung. We seen a movie. I believe The Road. The Book of Eli. And other various movies that go into, what it would be like, man. Basically end times. Really, truly, what it would be like. And it says, they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. All right. So they're not gonna be worried about what the president gotta say. What these the Congress and the Senate gotta say. The judges, the officers, they ain't gonna give a damn, man. They just gonna go for what they know and what they believe and what they think is to be right, man. All right. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got. Through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shai. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying first and foremost to the hopeful elect. Hey, the title of today's lesson is going to be, uproars and civil unrest in America. This is set to happen, bound to happen. It will happen through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shai. The Lord will make it happen, right? So look out for the big T attack. Look out for the false flag, and just be on your watch with Esau, man, because he's always up to something, right? He's always doing something, okay? But Like I say, that's pretty much all I have through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shah. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying, first and foremost, to the hopeful elect. But prior to getting out of here, we want to give all infinite honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Kakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone who rule and teach well. Peace, blessings, and salutations be to the hopeful elect scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, alright? Calling Yasha Allah, Abba Babal, and Shalom.